Hey guys, okay, so today I have got a, let's see, concealer for you. This is the LA Colors Ultimate Cover Concealer, okay? I saw this, I was in Five Below the other day. My young daughter likes to shop there sometimes because they have a bunch of junk. So that's very exciting for a young girl. So anyway, I was in there and I saw this, that they have an Ultimate Cover Concealer. Let's see what the claims are. Just says apply to a face with sponge or brush. So that's what we're gonna do, okay? I believe this was, I mean, obviously we were at Five Below, so at the very most it was $5, but I just think it was actually less than that. I'll try and put the price in the description. I have it in the shade CC913 Wheat, not the lightest shade. Let's grab a look at, oh, it's got a big old fat doe foot. This might actually be too dark, honestly. It just was kind of hard to tell inside the bottle and in the lighting and stuff. We'll try it anyway. I have in the past done a full face of LA Colors makeup products. I do have a video on that. If you want to take a look at that, I won't spend too much time on that here. But what I will say is they had a foundation that was a decent foundation. The biggest problem was that it oxidized like 2 shades, so it turned a horrific shade of orange on me. It was not good, so I'm hoping that does not happen with this one, but as a full disclaimer, that did happen in the past. I think I did try a concealer, but it wasn't this one in that video, so if you're interested. It looks very creamy. I'll give you a swatch. Okay, so there it is there. Yeah, it might be too dark, we'll see. And in comparison to a couple of my other go-to concealers that are readily available, this next one is the Morphe concealer. As you can see, the shade is lighter, so this might be too dark. We'll see, it may work out. The next one up is going to be the Wet n Wild Incognito in the shade Light Beige. That's this one. This Morphe one is the shade C 1.65. And we're kind of going up the stairs as in intensity. So we've got the darkest one, which is the LA Girl one, LA Colors that we're trying today, the Morphe, the Wet n Wild. The next one is, actually might be, I'm gonna put it right next to the LA Colors one that we're trying today, just because this one is my darkest one. This is the Kylie Jenner Skin Concealer. It's my darkest one in the shade Gypsum. And I'm just gonna see how dark it is in comparison to the one we're trying today. So it is, this one is my darkest one, and this is going to be second darkest. So there you have it. All of these concealers that I compare them to are relatively inexpensive. The most expensive one is probably going to be the Morphe one, which is about $9. I think I got it at Ulta online. Okay, so let's get to it. I have got a foundation review to do today, so I'm only going to do one eye. This eye. You see like how relative shade can be? Let's go ahead and do a real quick test on oxidization. And yes, unfortunately, it's darkened about at least one shade. But even though like on my actual skin tone, like where my neck is, that shade is going to be really dark, but because my under eyes are so pigmented and in need of color correction, it's just not going to look as dark, and it will indeed, that shade should serve to color correct and conceal at the same time. Okay, it feels like it is drying down matte and setting a bit. Feels a little bit sticky still, but it's much less light reflective than any of the other concealers that I showed you. Even the Mega Last Incognito is supposed to be long lasting. It's not as matte as this one is. And honestly, to be perfectly honest, it's looking really good from my face to my mirror. So let's take an up close look, shall we? Looks good, you guys. Like, I'm surprised, very surprised and pleasantly surprised. It's a little bit tacky, but not near as tacky as some of my other concealers. It's looking actually really, really good. It's not as, it is natural looking, but because of the shade, I really would have to blend it really far down to blend off that edge. The Kylie Skin one looks just a touch more natural, but I think it's about the shade. If this was the same exact shade as the Kylie one, then it probably would look more natural. But other than that, I mean, if we take shade completely out, this looks really good, and I'm very, very surprised. But of course, I'm not gonna do both eyes today. It just looks really good. Let's just see if we can build this up. It doesn't have any claims or anything on it. It just says to apply. It just says it's a ultimate cover concealer. That's all the info that we have on it. So let's just try a little bit more and see if we can build it up. I'll put a little bit less, just so we're only trying to cover where we need it. Quite honestly, I am shocked. This is looking really good. Now, what's going to be a deal breaker on this is if it makes my eyes burn. Like, that's one of the biggest problems that I have with concealers is my eyes are so sensitive that they will tend to burn. With any product. It doesn't have to just be an eye product. It can be a foundation, concealer, mascara, any product at all that's on my face. If it's close to my eyes, it has the potential to burn my eyes. It is looking so good. I am just 100% shocked. Now, because it is pretty matte, you're going to be able to see it, which I can see it on my skin. It's transferring a tiny bit, but that's pretty fresh that I just put on there. And also another deal breaker would be if it just gets more and more dry throughout the day and starts to make me look more and more crusty. As a first impression, it's looking really, really good. Now, is it going to kick out my Morphe one? Probably not at this point in time. But I've been wearing these two interchangeably, the Incognito and the Morphe one interchangeably, and this one is looking really good. So it could be in my rotation. But honestly, these two, it's the shade is the biggest thing. But I would absolutely wear this like out like as a normal makeup product. Is it my absolute favorite at this point? I don't know, but I can't say that I think the Morphe one is still my absolute favorite, but this one is good and I can't take anything away from that. So, okay, so I will wear this for the rest of the day. I will update my thoughts in the description or in the comments, whichever I get to. And don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding my bell, and let's see. So leave a comment, and I will see you guys in the next one.